Text messaging, 1843 style.
All right, Len, today we've got a big one. Tell me what we have right here.
It's the first telegram.
Ever.
The first official telegram sent on May 24th, 1844.
Earth-shaking, of course, because it allowed people to communicate who are hundreds of miles apart from each other. It's hard to overstate how important this was.
Well, you know, with hindsight, we can realize that this started the telecommunications revolution. To get a message from A to B, you had to physically take it there. You had to walk it, run it, get on a horse, a boat.
Or be in visual sightline, I guess.
Well,
right?
yeah. But on this day, May 24, Samuel F.B. Morse has a battery and a little key. He has strung wires 38 or so miles from Washington to Baltimore. And people knew that you could send electricity through a wire and have something happen. But the genius of Morse is that he knew what he wanted to have happen. And what he did was he was able to instantly communicate. He could send a message from here to there instantly.
By having the patterns and pulses of the signal.
A telegraph is two things. You have to be able to send the message through a wire, a single wire, send electricity from here to there, and just on off basically. But then you have to, what is the message? You know? Yeah. Is the message beep? Well, in this case, it's dot dash, dot dash.
So he invented the Morse code that we're familiar with today.
Yeah, that's why it's called Morse code. Yeah. Our conservation office has encased it in this plastic thing so we can hold it without gloves.
Because this is the original that we're holding.
This is the original, what hath God wrought? That was the first message that was sent.
So the message itself was transmitted via these impressions in the paper.
Exactly.
And then afterwards, the actual letters, which are recognizable to our eye, were added in ink below the impression. Is that correct? Exactly.
He was a very religious man.
Hence the phrase, what hath God wrought?
And there is a question mark at the end, if you'll notice there. Now, Morse knew that this was an historic document. He embellished it with, first of all, writing the alphabetical letter underneath each dots or dash. And then across the top, he wrote in his own hand here, this sentence was written from Washington by me at the Baltimore terminus at 8:45 a.m. on Friday, May 24, 1844, being the first ever transmitted from Washington to Baltimore by telegraph. Then he signed it Samuel F.B. Morse, Superintendent of Electromagnetic Telegraph. And that was his title.
It appears that Morse was very aware at the time of the implications of this invention.
Yeah, he was, and the message is especially appropriate. Len Bruno, Manuscript Specialist for Science and Technology, Library of Congress.